Picture a quiet desert. Moses is tending to his sheep when he notices something strange, a bush on fire, yet not burning up. Suddenly, a voice calls from the flames, "Moses, Moses." It was the God of Moses' ancestors, the God of Abraham. God then revealed something even more profound, his sacred name. When Moses asked what he should call God, God responded, "I am who I am," or Yahweh in Hebrew. This name was a powerful statement reflecting God's unchanging and eternal nature, a constant guiding force in Jewish life. This encounter was not only a turning point in Moses' life, but a cornerstone of Jewish faith. Welcome back to the Library of Faith, curious souls. Wait a minute. This is not our Library of Faith. This is the National Library of Israel. And today, we're continuing our exploration of Judaism by delving into its sacred texts and core beliefs. Ready? Let's dive in. So, this is the reading room of the National Library of Israel. What better place to find the sacred texts that can tell us about the key beliefs of Judaism? One of the most sacred texts at the core of Judaism is the Torah. The Torah consists of the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. The Torah is part of a larger collection of Jewish texts known as the Tanakh, which also includes poetry, historical accounts, and prophetic writings. The Torah is both a sacred text with foundational stories and a legal text containing 613 commandments, or mitzvot. These mitzvot include moral commandments, like honoring one's parents, and ritual laws, such as eating according to religious rules. Together, they guide Jewish life in every way. Through the Torah and other sacred texts, Judaism offers a path of ethical living, community, and devotion to God. This devotion is rooted in a key belief of Judaism: monotheism. Let's explore that belief by visiting one of the most sacred Jewish sites. This is the Western Wall, believed to be the site of the Second Temple in Jerusalem and a physical symbol of the Jewish faith. Judaism was one of the world's earliest monotheistic religions. Its followers' belief in a single, all-powerful creator God was a revolutionary idea in ancient times, when most cultures believed in many gods. As we learned in the previous lesson, Jewish people believe in a covenant, or a mutual promise that God would protect and guide them, while in return they would uphold God's teaching by living with justice, compassion, and faithfulness. Jewish teachings describe God as omnipotent, all-powerful, omniscient, all-knowing, and omnipresent, everywhere at all times. How do you think believing in an omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent God might influence how Jewish people see their personal responsibilities in the world? Well, it might make Jewish people feel accountable to live with kindness and integrity, knowing God is aware of their actions at all times. But according to Judaism, God is also just and merciful, balancing strength with kindness. These qualities create a powerful sense of trust and reverence among the Jewish people. Monotheism also shapes how people live. Since God is just and cares for all people, Jewish teachings emphasize treating others the same way and building a society based on respect and compassion. So in Judaism, monotheism isn't just faith in one God, it's a commitment to live by values that honor God's justice and mercy. and justice is the focus of the next belief we'll be exploring, Tikkun Olam. Another important concept in Judaism is Tikkun Olam, which means repairing the world. As a religion, Judaism is heavily focused on life in this world as opposed to preparing for an afterlife or seeking release from the cycle of rebirth. This principle encourages Jewish people to work actively to improve society, address injustices, and care for the planet. Tikkun Olam is a shared responsibility to contribute to a better, more just world. So, how do you think Jewish people put this principle into action? Well, one way is through tzedakah, sometimes translated as charity. But this isn't just generosity. It's an obligation to help those in need, promoting fairness and dignity. For example, the Torah instructs farmers to leave the edges of their fields unharvested so that those in need can gather food. Another expression of Tikkun Olam is caring for the environment. Many Jewish communities engage in conservation and environmental education to honor their responsibility to care for the earth. So, Tikkun Olam is a way to make the world better and more just. Jewish tradition also holds that someday, in the future, a Messiah will come to bring true peace and heal the world completely. And every act of kindness or justice people do now is like a small step toward that future. In Jewish tradition, the term Messiah means anointed one, and it refers to a leader who will come to bring peace, justice, and unity to the world. In fact, Jewish tradition says that this Messiah will arrive in Jerusalem through the gate behind me, known as the Golden Gate. Unlike other religious traditions that may see the Messiah as a divine figure, in Judaism, the Messiah is typically viewed as a human leader, someone from the family line of King David. The Messiah is also connected to the idea of human redemption, or a return to a state of goodness, purity, or closeness to God. How do you think this belief in the Messiah might affect Jewish people's outlook on life? Well, you could say that this belief in the Messiah encourages Jewish people to work toward a just society and also to trust in a future where the world is healed and united. So, we've talked about the key beliefs and principles of Judaism, many of which come from sacred stories and laws found in the Torah. But what is the role of the community and the leaders in Judaism? In Judaism, the Jewish community is central to people's lives, and it's often centered around the synagogue, like this one, Beth Shalom Synagogue in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania. After the destruction of the Second Temple, synagogues became the core of Jewish life. What do you think makes a place like this important for a community? Synagogues like this serve as places for prayer, study, and community connection. Within the synagogue, the rabbi is a key figure, a spiritual leader and scholar who interprets Jewish law and helps community members apply teachings to their everyday lives. But rabbinic leadership also involves rich, ongoing study and debate over how to interpret these laws. How might these debates strengthen a sense of identity and community? Well, these debates allow Jewish law to adapt to new challenges and stay relevant. This helps the community to address contemporary issues while staying rooted in tradition. Together, the synagogue, rabbinic leadership, and community practices help maintain a sense of identity, purpose, and continuity in Jewish life. As we wrap up today's exploration into the beliefs of Judaism, let's pause to reflect. At its heart, Judaism centers around the idea of a relationship, a covenant between God and His people. This relationship is reflected in the commitment to justice, compassion, and responsibility, not just for oneself, but for the world. From Moses' encounter with God at the burning bush to the guidance of the Torah and the principles of Tikkun Olam, these beliefs inspire a way of life that deeply honors both faith and action. Through Jewish communities and synagogues, as well as rabbinic leaders, Jewish people are sustained and supported. In our next lesson, we'll take a look at the many practices, rituals, and holidays of Judaism. Until then, stay curious, friends.
Hey, hey.